Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Amy Joy with One Centered Life, your resource for holistic wellness and empowerment. And this is part 2 in my series of the Power of Commitment. And I had to break up the video. I hope you're thankful of that because the last one was 17 minutes. But I had someone at my door, so here's part 2. So if you haven't already watched the first video, check that out because in that video I'm talking about my personal story and how I realized that I didn't have any commitments and it was causing me to stay in a place of mediocrity. And the reason I just discovered that commitment was like the missing link for me to be in my greatness, pretty much. So I'm making this video series for you guys so that you too can be in your greatness and get from where you are today, right now, to where you want to be. And how do we do that? We do that through commitment. All right, so commitment is, in this video, I'm going to discuss with you what commitment is, the mechanics of a commitment, and why it's so powerful, and how to make a commitment. So first up, what is commitment anyway? All right, so commitment is basically attaching to an end goal, right? It's something that you want so bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get to that end goal, okay? That is commitment. Now, how do you know if you want to make a commitment? So you have to evaluate first. All right. You have to figure out this end goal that you have in mind. What is it going to take actually for me to get there? So you kind of have to size up, wrap your mind around this thing that you're thinking about committing to. You have to explore it a little bit. And by doing that, you won't set yourself up for failure, and you'll be able to maintain integrity once you do declare that you're going to make a commitment. So that's the first step, is you evaluate what all does this commitment entail? What are the steps that I actually need to go through in order to get to my end point, my goal? All right, next, what you want to do before you actually make a commitment, while you're still in the evaluation phase, is you need to figure out how bad do you want it. So, like I said, a commitment is an attachment, right? So, how bad do you want it? Are you going to be willing to do whatever it takes to get to that end goal? Are you going to be willing to do the steps that you just wrote out in order to get to that end goal? And I want to actually introduce just a little place where you want to err a little bit of caution, is when you plan out the steps that it's going to take to get to your end goal, they should not be very detailed. They should be very broad overview statements, like for instance, for me in my commitment, I am committing to becoming a very powerful, magnetic, public, famous coach, because I want to have a big house and I deserve it. And I'm going to commit to actually making that happen. So when I think about what does it take to be that next level version of me, I know that I'm going to have to get better at public speaking. I know that I'm going to have to, master being in integrity. I know that I'm going to have to schedule my time, very efficiently. So that's the level of detail that you want when you're planning out that what will it take phase. You don't want to get too detailed, because you should not try to control the how it's going to happen. You just want to know, like, ballparks, what's the area that you, or what's the direction that you have to move toward in order to fulfill this big chunk of unacquired skills at the moment. All right. So that was my tangent from how badly do you want it? And I was saying, let's see, how badly do you want it? Okay. Are you willing to do what it takes? The things that we mentioned in the first step. And if you are, then, and your answer is yes, then you are ready to make a commitment. Okay, cool. So you passed the gate of evaluation. Yes, I am ready to make a commitment. And this is something I want super bad. I can't live my life without it. I must become this person. This is who I'm destined to be. I know that I have control and power of my own life. I am choosing, yes, that I want to activate myself to that level where I am going to become that person. Great. That's where I am. All right, so once you do that, then what are the mechanics of the commitment? What do you have to actually do in order to have a commitment and be in alignment with the energy of that end destination? So these are the things that I identified as the mechanics of the commitment. So thing number one. Okay, again, it's actually the same thing as the number one in the evaluation stage. So what will it take? This time around, while you're making the commitment, you're going to write those steps. You're going to write those things out. Okay, you're going to start to plan your strategic path on how to get from point A, where you are now, to point B, your end goal. So, like I said, you're going to do it from a high level overview. What are the areas that you need to gain some skills? And
it's 10 o'clock.
When I say what are the areas that you need to gain some skills in, this means that you are accepting that you don't know it all. If you knew it all, you would already have what it is you desire, right? So it's going to take, automatically, it's going to take growth. And it's going to take you not copping out and using fear as an excuse and leaving a backdoor option. You know, you want to really be authentic here and be able to set boundaries and say, yes, I can do that. No, I cannot do that. Yes, I am open. So let's see. So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to write out what's it going to take. And then you're going to declare it. You're going to declare what your commitment is. Now, this could be out loud, just out loud to the universe, but it works best if you declare it out loud in words to a friend or multiple friends and or family members. The more people you declare it to, the better, because these people are going to be holding you accountable. You're going to hold yourself accountable because you know that you told someone and you don't want to be called a liar now the next time they see you. And it really helps for you to get in alignment with that energy. So you can also write it down in a journal. That's fine. But like I said, it's better if you say it out loud and if you say it to people, and the more people, the better as well. So that is step 2 of your mechanics of a commitment. And the third step or mechanic of a commitment the last thing on the list is, like I was mentioning in, I think, the first one, you have to be open. So what this means is you are aligning your energy with that final state. You are willing to receive. So once you declare it out loud, basically the universe is going to set you up with moments of truth to test your energy if you are really meaning what you're saying that you want. So you'll have opportunities that will show up, and your response to those opportunities should always be yes. And that is showing your openness to actually receive the thing that you are saying that you want to be and do. And as I mentioned before, fear is not an option. Okay, so what that means when fear is not an option, it means that it's an opportunity for you to be growing in this particular moment, in this instance. When the opportunity presents itself and you know that if you take the action that the opportunity is presenting itself, and it would lead to you getting further ahead in your goal. Like for me, speaking gigs have come up. That's a great example. So speaking gigs have come up. I am a holistic wellness coach, all right, an empowerment coach. And I was asked to speak on a panel today about mental health and mental wellness. It's not a field that I have studied extensively, and what I promote in my programs is meditation, and allowing your mind to rest and be still, and that is my major talking point when it comes to the mind. Okay, healthy mind. Although a healthy mind is a part of my my message and my delivery, my brand. So this opportunity came up, and it was for graduate students in the law school. And I could have been intimidated by that audience. I could have wanted to stay in my shell and be like, well, I know a little bit something, but who am I to say something? Like, I've never spoken before. I had so many excuses I could have given, but what I chose instead, because will this opportunity lead to me getting one step closer to where I want to be? Well, to answer that question, I have to evaluate, am I getting the chance to go in front of people and talk about my brand? Yes. Am I getting the chance to potentially receive new clients? Yes. So why would I not want to go be in that space? Oh, because of my ego wanting me to play small. Oh, because of my ego, being fearful. Like, that's stupid. So instead, I chose to say yes. And what did I have to do? I had to do research. I had to make sure that I came correct, and I had to, am I used to speaking in front of big crowds of people? Well, not entirely. I've recently began to do it a little bit more, having gone through a yoga instructor training, but it's not necessarily a thing that is very natural to me at this point yet. So but I chose to say yes because I knew that in the process I would rise. I would elevate myself. I would do research. I would do whatever it took in order to convert this opportunity into a life experience that is a stepping stone in me getting closer to my goal. And so now, instead of it being a stepping stone, like in my path, in my way, it's behind me. I'm past that stepping stone. Now it's on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, right? So that's what I mean by you have to be completely open and ready to grow. And when that happens, basically, when you're completely, let me back up. Let me recap the steps. When you know what it will take and you plan that out, okay? When you declare what your commitment is and that, you're going to do it, you declare to your friends and family and coworkers, whoever, and then you are completely open to do whatever it takes, that's when that end goal will be yours. It's just a matter of, jumping from each stepping stone to each stepping stone to each stepping stone. And one thing that I also want to mention too, in that final step about being open, and willing to do whatever it takes, that includes a lot of supporting what you want to do with energy. So it's one thing to say, in the middle step, to declare what you want to do, but then you have to support it with energy. So that means, for me, in my example, I had the energy I had to expend in order to get past that stepping stone was I had to go do some research. Sometimes the energy in order to get past a certain stepping stone means investing money in yourself in order to take a class or in order to get a certification. What's some other energy things? Visualization. I mean, that's one thing. It's not super duper a lot of energy, but yeah, just basically you have to put the energy behind the words in order to really get past those stepping stones. That's a part of that being open and willingness and getting from point A to point B. So those are my tips on being in alignment with your end goal and the power of commitment. I'll recap it again really quickly. First, you need to evaluate whether or not you are ready to make a commitment. Then once you evaluate whether or not you are ready to make a commitment, if the answer is yes, then you need to do 3 things. You need to plan out the steps, what it will take to get from point A to point B. You need to declare what your commitment is out loud to people, to friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, whomever. And then thirdly, you need to be very open to the process, open to your opportunities, to anything that's going to get you a stepping stone further along from point A to point B to get you to where you are saying you want to be. And when you do those things, you will undoubtedly receive exactly what it is you are committing to. You will make it to your end goal. You will manifest what it is that you want, and you'll be happy. You'll be so happy. And you'll be in integrity. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked it so much. Give me a big thumbs up. Okay. Say that you like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, guys. Also, leave comments below if you have any comments. All right. Hope to talk to you and see you again soon.